He was like, he's that like it's.
I'll go get the extension cord if you want to stretch.
Stretch time.
Stretch time. Yeah.
Oh man, bathroom break.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
I feel like my legs are so numb now. Oh god, I'm scared.
Wait, should we take this off? Oh my
I
God,
could cut it
3
out.
hours.
3 hour podcast. That's the longest I've ever been.
Really?
Yeah, but there was a bit where we like stopped talking. So
Yeah.
this is gonna be fun to edit.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank God I have like 3 episodes ready to go. So it'll probably take me like 3 weeks to edit this.
Here, I'm gonna put this on. Which, oh my God, that's
Not the sigh before the
Nice.
story.
yeah. So it was that show has to be an overnight shoot because it's a like a Christmas show. So the point is to see like people's like houses and how like they're decorated and whatnot. So it's also in November, like freezing cold outside. So there's this house that we shoot, and it's a small crew, and basically like they kind of just. It's kind of like the cameramen and like the people who own the house, and they like kind of do a tour of the house or whatever. And I'm basically just like sitting outside. Like there's not much action. Like it's not like a freaking action movie where you have to like whatever, make sure shit is. I mean, shit's gonna blow up, but like blow up in the right way. Blah blah blah. So it's like there's not much happening on this particular shoot. And I'm sitting down, we're fire watching, what it's called, is we're just like watching the equipment, make sure nobody's like stealing it. And because we're shooting outside, like there's like no bathrooms, like there's like a porta potty, like off, out the way, and that's like our bathroom. So I really had to use the bathroom this like one night, and it's so dark. I go and I'm like fire watching, like I'm doing my job, so I'm kind of scared to like, get up and use the bathroom. But I tell one of my friends, hey, I'm going to 10-1, which is code for, like, I'm going to use the bathroom. And he was like, okay, yeah, go ahead. So I waited so long, and it's dark in this porta potty in, like, the woods, and I completely missed the toilet. So I like peed all over myself.
Oh my god.
Yes, I peed all over myself. I missed the toilet because it's dark. I'm using like my phone as like a flashlight.
Oh, and you wasn't trying to put.
And I
wasn't trying to sit on it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to. Exactly, I didn't want to like sit on the toilet.
This
like,
porta potty,
ew, no, I
people
can.
have
I don't
been
even want to
using.
like think about it.
Exactly.
So I
Just piss yourself.
just peed on myself, and so.
Piss girl.
Oh my god. And I'm like, fuck this shoot, fuck, that was the moment when I knew I did not want it. No, I'm kidding.
No, that'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. No, that was not the moment where but I was contemplating, like, for sure. It was November. It was cold. Like, I peed on myself. It's fucking, like, 2 in the morning, They're just shooting lights on this house, fucking house. And, now I'm even colder because now I'm cold and wet, and I'm just like, I just want to go home. And luckily though, what kind of saved me, like nobody knew that I peed on myself. I don't know, maybe I smelled like pee or something, but I don't think so. But and so the only thing that saved me is like for shows you're supposed to be wearing all black. So nobody knew a thing.
Oh.
Nobody knew, and it was nighttime. Mm-hmm. So nobody saw, and they were like shooting off to the side, and it was just me and my other like friend. He gave me a lot of jobs, a lot of like PA gigs. Mm. And it was just like, oh yeah, go ahead, adjust yourself.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
I just wanted to see it better.
Oh yeah.
As it was happening.
And so he was so tired. Like he works a lot I think that shoot, he actually told me, like, because it was an overnight shoot, on the way home, he, like, fell asleep. And he, like, almost, like, or he did crash, yeah. So it was, like, a bad shoot for the both of us, you know. Sorry, my nephew, he's 4, and that's, like, his footsteps, if you can hear it. But, yeah, he's upstairs. So, yeah, it was a bad shoot for the both of us. And I was just like, oh, my God, like, this sucks, bruh.
Damn, peed your pants.
I peed my pants.
So what made you step away from film? Besides that, peeing your pants.
Yeah, I peed my pants in public. No. So what made me kind of step away from it was I didn't really feel fulfilled as an artist. Like I was like doing it, and I didn't feel that like sense of like satisfaction because I was working on a lot of things that weren't mine. And you know, like as an artist, like of course you want to do something that's yours and you want to show it to the world, and that's always the goal. But in in film, like the goal is always to kind of like create. Well, not always. I guess it depends, but a lot of times people want to make something for themselves and be the next like Spielberg. You know, like that's usually like what people like want or whatever. And so I was working on these TV shows, and it was like a lot of. I fell into like the Food Network, so I worked on a lot of like Food Network shows, and I'm just like, oh, like I'm here, specifically the kitchen. Like I'm so grateful for the kitchen, and I love the people that I work with on the kitchen. But it at first, now I feel like a little bit more cultured, I guess, and like my palate has definitely grown for food, and I appreciate it so much more. But like I said, I grew up on fucking KFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't over here, eating these gourmet meals.
Exactly.
One of the chefs, I remember he asked me for Grey Poupon, which is basically like a
Grey
mustard.
Poupon?
Grey Poupon, which is
What even
it's
is
basically
that?
a mustard.
A mustard that's gray?
It's not gray. It's like a I don't know, like a yellow, but not a yellow. It's like a soft, kind of grayish yellow. Has I don't even know how to how to describe it, but he asked me. He likes to eat like his Grey Poupon with his sandwiches, and I didn't hear him at first, and I didn't know what it was. And he said, "Oh, and make sure." And he's like rich, and he's like, I don't want to call him pretentious because maybe he is, but but I absolutely love him, and he's just. He didn't even know what a Pop Tart was. You know what I mean? Like, he's that guy. Like, he's that guy.
Yeah.
So, he was like, yeah, can you get me Grey Poupon? And I'm like, what the fuck? And I go to the kitchen. I'm like, he's asking for a grape? He's asking for a grape? Poo something? I didn't even know what the fuck. And they were like, what? And then they're like, who's it for? And I'm like, Jeezy, that's what we call it. And they're like, it's for Jeezy. And they're like, oh, he's talking about Grey Poupon. And they give me the jar. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I definitely have learned a lot, since.
Have you had some of that? The Grey Poupon?
I haven't. I'm not like a consummate person. Like, I don't like ketchup. I don't. Yeah.
Damn. This is where this ends, huh?
That's where this
I love
ends.
ketchup.
Do you?
It's
I
my
don't.
favorite condiment ever.
I knew that like me and my fiance were soulmates when he also does not like ketchup, because that's like a very
Wow.
uncommon thing.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't like ketchup. Like, that's so weird. We're gonna get into shading. How are you?
Shading?
Yeah, are you good?
Are we not done? No, just kidding. I seen that meme all the time where it's like
Oh.
when you think you're done and then they say, oh, we're gonna start shading.
Oh yeah, when it's like, yeah. So this is, you never saw it shaded.
I've never seen it, yeah.
This is it.
Oh shit.
I just did gray so I could see the white better, like the white highlights, but.
I don't care, do what you gotta do.
But that's it right
Actually,
there.
Can I ask you for a favor?
Yeah.
Can you pass me a protein bar?
Absolutely. Here, take this.
Thanks.
They're all the same.
These are actually
flavors.
really good. I killed the first one I had. And I'm getting in my protein at the same time.
That's good.
Exactly.
Have to get your protein. Oh yeah, this is a good video.
And this sucks because I've just been getting a lot hungrier throughout the day because I'm going so crazy in the gym. So like every few hours I need to eat a meal, and I'm like, oh, this sucks.
But also, when you get tattooed, you get hungry. Like you.
I know. So I feel like it's
So
double hungry now. Because I would
exactly.
be normally hungry at this time, and now I'm even more hungry because I'm getting a tattoo.
You're getting tattooed, yeah. It's one. It's about to be 1:30 now. But we're making good
Is that good or
progress.
bad?
No, that's good.
What happened?
We're making good progress. Like I know I said like definitely closer to like 4, I would say, because like the shading. But we're good. How are you feeling though?
I'm good. It's whenever you stop, it hurts like a bitch.
Yeah. So we'll
So
continue.
that's a weird experience.
It's true though. When you take a break, I try to like I tell people like yeah we could take a break any time, but like the more breaks you take, the more
Yeah, I'm also
it does
like getting the
hurt.
vibe where like as soon as it's done, it's done.
Yeah. You can eat while we go. So what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, I was working on the show, and I was just like, oh my god, they're talking about all this, and I'm like, oh, it's like not the reason why I joined, and I never really had a love for food growing up, and
I
so
love that for you.
like in terms of like artistically, I guess I do have a like more appreciation for it now. But like I was always like a picky person, and yeah, I kind of suck with that. But yeah, so I'm like I don't know, like I'm not really feeling it. And I had been working at the tattoo shop at the same time because when you work on set, you're not going to be working like 52 weeks out of the year. You work for a couple of weeks and then you're kind of like out of a job and you have to like scramble to like look for a job. And so I was I didn't really also enjoy kind of that part. It's just like that, like, am I gonna where's my next job gonna be? Is it gonna be outside where I'm gonna an overnight shoot where I have to like worry about like where I use the bathroom, or like things like that. I like stability. And I felt like there was also I've never really talked about this, like people ask me, but I feel like it was also a little bit of like self-doubt, like my goal when it came with film and stuff was to be a DP. So that's like to be behind the camera and
What,
like
director of photography?
yeah, and like shoot. Like I really like camera. Like that's like what I wanted to do. I felt like out of all of them, you can get really creative as a DP. But it is like hard and competitive. And then like I just always had like self-doubt. I was like, can I do this? Like, you know what I mean? Like I felt like I couldn't. And I was also like so I remember one time on this other set I was on, I had to carry the camera from like one block to another. And the cameras, like once it's like, the actual camera itself is like a small box. But once you like rig it up and add all these like extra
Extra
attachments,
things.
oh my God, the camera it starts to weigh like 50 pounds or something. And so, I'm carrying this camera from like one block to another and I can't, like I'm like struggling and I can't obviously drop it because it's like it costs more than like my tuition. So I'm like fuck, I'm like freaking out. And a lot of times obviously, excuse me, there's like rigs and stuff that you can attach so it doesn't feel as heavy for you. But I'm 5'3", at the time I was like not, I was lighter and
I
smaller
thought you were
than.
gonna say not 5'3". I was like, damn.
Oh no, I was still 5'3". I've been 5'3", I think, for a really long time, like since high school. I have not grown since high school. So I'm 5'3". I was like, I don't know, 120 pounds. And I'm like really struggling to carry this camera. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like I gotta carry this camera like 12 hours a day. Like, this is crazy. So I was like, I gotta go to the gym, I gotta stretch. And that's what it is. It's like 12 hours a day, your 60 hours a week is, minimum. And it was a lot. And especially too, like I had a long time, boyfriend, my fiance now, and like, like not being able to kind of see him as much or as often because I was working or whatever. Like all that kind of plays like a role. And then I had, since I was working at the tattoo shop, I was like, you know what, let me give this a shot. And I got the opportunity to do that. And the feeling that I felt from tattooing is the feeling that I've been like searching for my whole life in terms of like artists. You know, I wanted to be an artist. I didn't know what I wanted to do, like within art. And once I started tattooing, like I was like, oh no, this is it. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, this is like what I've been
You've been waiting for.
Wanting to feel, and that self-doubt that I had been experiencing in film, I didn't have with tattooing. Like, of course, like you're always striving to be a better artist. Like, I'm always learning, I'm always growing, but I don't have feelings of like, am I good enough, I more so want to, of course, I want to be like the best, but I want to be like the best for me. Like, I don't want to be the best to prove to anybody else that I'm like good, I'm capable. Like, I don't want to have to like prove myself that again, I am capable. And I would do that a lot. Like, I would try to like rig things up, and be like, yeah, I'm like, I'm a woman. Like, I can do this. Like, I can do this just as good as any other man can do, because in the film industry it is a lot of men, like, and a lot of men who are like the DPs and directors, and that's always been a thing in Hollywood. So it was kind of like proving yourself and whatnot. So that was like kind of my experiences. And I was just like, yeah, no, I really like it. But from time to time, like, film never left. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can always go back to doing that if I want to do it. I actually helped my friend direct his web series. And that was fun. The last time I had directed, it was horrible. I could not sleep. I was just like so stressed out, so anxious. So when he told me about this, at first I was just like, I don't know, like, if I can do this. Like, those were like the worst 3 days of my life. And then once I finished the project, like, I was kind of so tired. I was so over it, and I'm so critical of like my art. So I see something that I don't like, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I can't, I can't put this out there. But so many people had helped me. And I was like, okay, yeah, I have to put this out there. And at the end of the day, like, making films are tough. Like, I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to, like, make a film, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. Like, first of all, you have to have a budget. You have to have a timeline. You have to make sure people are fed. People are, like, in good spirits. Like, and there's this, like, saying that, what is it? It's somebody's law that starts with an R. It's like, if something goes bad, like, it will. Like, something will go bad, basically. Like, so just, you have to understand that. You have to know that. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's like a horrible way to live. Like, something's always going to go wrong, which I guess, is life, and it's true. But, like, I'm just like, God, like, always kind of worrying, and it was tough. It was tough for sure.
Do you miss it at all? Like, that feeling of like 60-hour weeks? Like, is there any like part of you, a tiny bit, like, oh, I miss being on set and stressing about things, because it's part of it, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
But
when I dip my toe back in, because I still work on the kitchen. 4 times a year. We usually film it 4 times a year, and it's sometimes it's like a short shoot, so it's like a week, 2 weeks or whatever. And when I'm doing that, and I would say that I am good at that. Like, I'm good at my job when it comes to like film. And I was never the type of person to kind of freak out when something would happen. So I worked on this one show called Worst Cooks, and those were like really long days. And the second AD, I love her. She taught me so much within that world. And she was like, we love kind of chaos. Like, I can deal with chaos, but there's so many people who were working on that show who couldn't deal with chaos. And they would, like, which understandably, because like they would be there for a really long time, and like people would have fucking kidney stones because they would just sit at their desk all day. And they didn't even get a chance to use the bathroom. Like that's how
Damn.
like rigorous it. Yeah. So like they like because people will, the PC, it happened to the PC, and she developed like a kidney stone because she couldn't use like get up and use the bathroom. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. So not in terms of like that, like that's like not chaos, but it just like shit would happen that you would have to like, fix on the fly and whatnot. And like I never minded that. Like I felt like I was pretty good because I know I couldn't control it, but I had to do my best to, you know,
Throw it away. I'm not throw it away.
fix the situation.
Fix the situation.
Yeah.
I was thinking about throwing away the trash.
Throwing away the trash. No, I get it. So when I work on the kitchen, and I do like waking up early. My call time for the kitchen is usually at 6. I believe it's 6:45. So I have to be on set at 6:45, and so I wake up at like 4:50. And I like waking up early, and I like going to set, and like, and that hustle and bustle, like I do like that. So sometimes I do miss it. So actually this last time that I worked, which was recently, it was back in, let me see, August. No, the end of July, early August. Yeah, the end of July, early August is when the last time I worked on the kitchen. And so one of the chefs, he was going to go on Worst Cooks, and when I worked on Worst Cooks that one year, he was a guest on it. And I remember he also didn't enjoy it because it was like really long hours and there was a lot of waiting for him. And he was like, "Hey, are you gonna be on that show?" And I was like, "No, like I'm gonna be, back to tattooing for me, because they all know, like they know I tattoo." And they're like, "Aw," like he was like upset, and he told me, because they do like a celebrity season, and he told me like who the celebrities were, and like I do like that kind of high pace, and I was like, oh my god, like I kind of want to do it. And so
Yeah.
I looked at my schedule to see who I had to tattoo and if that interfered, and it did, and so I couldn't. But I did want to do that show, and I do miss it sometimes. Like I think it's a nice break. I think it's nice when you do something and you have something else to kind of like take your mind off of it, something different, than what you're kind of used to, like your day-to-day routine, and then you kind of go back to doing whatever it is that you love to do.
Before,
We're doing before, and then you're like, oh, this is good or whatever. But yeah.
It's looking pretty cool. I won't lie to you.
Yeah,
I'm liking the way it's coming out.
I really like it.
This is. I'm just like it looks like it's like not real. Like it's not real on my body, but it is. And you drew that?
What's that?
You drew that? The thing on the iPad? You drew
Yeah.
that?
But I cheated. Like,
Insane.
so it's so much easier on the iPad. Like, can I draw it? Yeah, I can draw it. But it just when you have so the app that I create my stuff is Procreate.
I got that same app on my iPad too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good app, and you only pay $10 once. It's not subscription based, and it just makes your life so much easier as a creative, especially for tattoo artists. Like, forget it. Like that's like the app that,
That
everybody's on.
Yeah.
And so
You got the big ass iPad too.
I had to. I would see the tattoo artists have the big iPads, the Pro. So even before I started to tattoo, because I worked at the tattoo shop, I was like, I want an iPad, and I want to learn how to use this, and because for me it takes so long to finish a project. Like I wish I was that type of artist where there's this one tattoo artist, his name is Bug, and he would just do so many flash sheets a day. Like he would do maybe like, oh my god, in a week he easy could have 20 total, like 20 different flash sheets. You know what I mean? Like he would just churn these suckers out, and they would all be so good. Like he's a staple in the tattoo community. Unfortunately he died, but he's amazing. Like everybody knows who he is. Like as soon as you mention him in the tattoo community, they're like, oh yeah, Bug, and they usually have stories about Bug because he always used to like travel and whatnot, and talk to other tattoo artists. And I wish I was like him in terms of like I can like do 20 flash sheets, a day. But no, it takes me a really long time to complete like a project, and then I like bounce around, you know, and whatchamacallit. So I got the iPad to kind of make that process quicker for me and faster for me, and I saw like the artist had like the biggest one, and had Procreate. So I just searched up a picture of Scream, and then traced it, and then I drew the links. But what I did was, to make it symmetrical, is I did the symmetry tool or whatever on Procreate, and I just,
Oh, so I'll get it.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I know exactly what tool you're talking about.
So I cheated, but
I use Procreate to make like the thumbnails for the podcast. Like I'll just put a screen grab of the photo of us talking, and I'll just put a text over it. And I'm like, that's just so much easier
it's
than.
so easy to do it on like Photoshop. Forget it. Doing it on Photoshop is like, oh my god, it would take you.
Nah, I love Procreate, and I like to draw on there. There's just some crazy drawings on there that
Yeah,
like
just
to kill some time.
right.
Like at work, like I'll be drawing in my work notebook, and it'll be like important work notes, and then I'll have drawings in the corners of it, and they're like, "Hey, do you have a copy of the notes?" I'm like, no. I could type them up and email them to you, but yeah, that's always gotten me in like quote trouble where like I have random doodles on the notes, and it could be like a really important meeting, and they're like. And I remember my last job, I was telling the HR guy, I was like, well, yeah, I won't remember any of this stuff if I don't have, like, a drawing to, like, link it in my brain. Like, a little smiley or, like...
A little smiley.
Yeah, or, like, a little guy fighting a robot or something. And so it's just been, like, random.
Hey, listen, that's how some people work. You know what I mean? Like, some people have to have... Everybody, like, the way people learns? The way people learn. Why does that sound wrong? It's so different, So sometimes, like, you need to have, like, these doodles to help you remember, and that's fine. Like, school was very, like, I feel like cut and dry. Like, they all kind of made you...
Think the same way, do the same way, yeah.
How were you in school? Were you...
In high school, I was like a average student. Not the top of the class, but at the bottom. But then in college, things just got easier because I was just friends with my professors, and then, so I would just get good grades because of that. Yeah. So that's always just been easier.
So you said you went to school for business.
Yeah,
right?
I got a bachelor's degree in business administration, but my concentration in that was like sport management, so I got that degree.
That's how.
Yeah, that's how I did the Tim Thomas stuff.
Got
into sports. And I feel the same way about like how you do with like, I want, like, you go to like a set like 4 times a year or whatever. Like I do the same thing. Like like in January I worked like a sporting event. Like
I see.
This January I did the World University Games, and I did it in something random like transportation. And so I was like helping the teams get on their bus, getting off the bus, like like sending them where they got to go. And that was just interesting to me because it's like something I don't like doing. It's like, do I want to do the social media stuff? Sure, that'd be awesome. But I kind of like doing the different parts of it too, not just like something I'm so used to and comfortable in. Because it was like coordinating like 100 buses a day.
Oh my gosh,
it's crazy.
That was your job.
Yeah,
no,
and
listen, not that I get it because I've never been a coordinator, but I feel for those who have because I know how tough that job can be.
Like, it's so crazy, and it's like. I've never gotten that feeling from like another job, like a regular job. I feel like all my jobs have been like sports jobs or my mom's business. Like it's nothing. Like I haven't had anything else except that one Whole Foods job I had.
Yeah.
Like, but that was just because I wanted like a lot of money fast.
Okay.
So it was just like.
They be paying a lot. They be paying good money.
Yeah, they were paying like $20 an hour.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to apply at Whole Foods real quick. Maybe a couple of days. That's crazy. What's the discount?
25%. I think it was 25? At the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's just different now. I'm not too sure.
Finesse.
But it was good. It was a good discount. I think I worked there because of the discount, actually.
That's a good-ass discount.
Because I used to love going to Whole Foods. It was just awesome.
Eventually, I want to make enough money one day where that's like my supermarket. You know what I mean? Like, that's like
I don't make enough money, and that's still my supermarket.
Stop it. Like...
I'm like, that's why we have credit cards, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
I'd be scamming the credit card companies.
Yeah.
I'd be saying, hey, I got a promotion, and they'll increase my
Stop
salary
it.
on
I'm
there.
so scared of that. For
No,
some
they don't
reason.
check. How are they gonna check?
Yeah, after a while, how are they gonna check? True.
Who are they gonna ask? But then it's just like, hey, you're, and like a few months later, it'll be like, hey, you're eligible for a credit line increase. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. How much is it? I'm like, yeah, sure, I could do it.
Yeah.
But
Bruh. I've had like Discover. I feel like is the student, card because they
yeah.
always they approve anybody.
Yeah, Capital One though.
That's
my
where it's
favorite.
at?
Yeah, that's where it's at. They'll ask you in a few months, what's your salary, and they just lie. And then eventually they'll be like, hey, you want more credit? And
Capital One doesn't listen to this podcast.
no, they don't. They don't. They can't. They shouldn't.
Capital One, if you're listening, and we know
You
that
didn't
you
hear
are.
anything. If you're a young person listening at Capital One, do us a favor and ignore everything we just said. Damn, that feels different on my leg.
Yeah, different sensation. Whip shading. That, ladies and gents, what you're hearing is whip shading.
Sounds like.
It sounds so intense.
It does sound intense. I was gonna
Right?
say, does it? Because it feels like it's like you're very concentrated on it. Is that the case?
I love when I get to the stage of the tattoo. I don't know if I'm super concentrated, but it's fun for me for sure. So basically the concept is to get these like dots effect, like this look. You lower the voltage of the speed of the machine, and you poke your needle out more. I don't know if you can see it, but you poke it out more, so then when you whip it fast, like it has sort of that, it skips, and it has that like effect to it.
It's looking pretty cool. Wow, I'm so impressed with my tattoo.
Thank you.
See, this way you gotta wait a few years. You gotta wait till they get good at it.
Yeah. For sure.
I was like, I think I remember that day when you first started posting about doing tattoos. I was like, whoa, that's so cool. I was like, wow, from basketball to tattoos.
From basketball to tattoos.
How did we get there?
Yeah.
From basketball to, I remember you posted a picture of you on set. I think at one of your projects, and I was like, whoa, from basketball to that to tattoos. Crazy.
I feel like I make myself look a lot cooler than I actually am on social media.
I mean, you gotta, right? That's the
point, yeah.
That's the point. You gotta look pretty cool on there. I think it would be worse if you did cool stuff and then you made it look uncool.
That's
you know?
Good point. I worked on Chopped. Chopped was fun. Chopped was good.
Really?
Yeah, I've always
wow.
I really like competition shows, so that was fun. That's the one that I feel like that's like the most like famous one, and like the notable one that people watch and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. I like Chop.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, fun fact, Gordon Ramsay follows me on Twitter.
No way, really?
Yeah.
That's so cool. So I don't even know if I'm allowed to say. I didn't sign an NDA, so fuck it. I could say it. So they're, because of the strike, which I'm sure you know about.
Oh yeah.
There's not a lot of scripted TV shows that people can do, so they brought back Kitchen Nightmares, which I didn't know they stopped filming that show, but they brought it back. And one of the restaurants that they go to, this feels like very exclusive information that I'm not
Oh my god,
say.
you're dropping some crazy ass shit, huh?
I am. Is right here. Oh, but you're not from the area, so you don't know.
No, but.
Well.
Still, let us know. Inform us.
Yeah, I mean, there's this place that just opened up. I think it's like literally like 5 minutes away from here. It's called Bask 46, and they were featured on Kitchen Nightmares that's not out yet. And I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to go to that restaurant now because it's like going to be featured on that. So I was telling you, so if you want to check it out before, the crowd
before it gets hype, yeah. Oh,
check
shit.
it out. And I hear it's very good. I've never been myself. Do you want to pick it up?
It's meant for. I think I'll just leave it there for a little bit.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, we're having a conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah, somebody did text me, and they left me 5 voice notes, and I was like, I'm not going to listen to that right now.
Do you like voice notes? Are you for it?
I like them, but not when it's 5 in a row. I'm just like, what couldn't you say in one breath?
In text. Exactly. Oh my god. I am not for the voice recordings. I do not like them. Me personally. And my sister does it all the time. Like, she could say, it would be like 2 minutes long, and all it's just like her, like, hey, can you babysit? And she's like, you know, making it super long, and I'm like, oh my god, girl, you could have just said that in a fucking
In a text.
Yeah.
Nah, I like voice notes. I don't really send them that much, but I don't really be in places where I can do voice notes. And I feel like sometimes, now that I started podcasting a while ago, I just hate talking.
I commend you for, you know, doing that, because I hate the sound of my voice. Like,
see, I think it stems back to the God's favorite thing. I love how I sound.
do you?
Yeah.
I'm probably not even listening. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna listen to it, but I'm gonna hate every minute of it. Like, I'm gonna be
so
like,
funny.
I'm gonna be like, ew, I can't believe I said that. I can't. I'm like thinking about it now. I'm like, oh my god. But I hate my voice.
Literally everyone says that though.
Yeah, no.
I hate the way I sound. I'm like, so stop listening to yourself and just speak.
When actors, you know, they say like they can't watch themselves on screen, like I feel that.
I feel that too. That's why I feel like I needed like an editor to edit the podcast for me, because I'm like getting sick and tired of watching myself.
Yeah.
And listening to myself and making myself laugh.
So you have somebody editing for you?
No, I don't. Not yet.
Oh.
I want to though.
Oh, thank you. That's so cute. Yeah. Oh, actually, now that you're here, this is great. Can you record?
Yeah.
Special.
Oh my God, I'm bleeding.
No, that's good.
That's good.
It's, you know, adds to the.
It adds to the coloring.
To the theme.
It's like, it's actually not ink. It's actually real blood.
Right.
That's a really cool tattoo, by the way.
Right? Doesn't it look cool on the skin too?
So cool.
I don't even know what to do.
She did amazing.
Oh my god. Who's that, Ezra? Okay, so basically, I guess get really close. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Actually, hold on.
Let's talk about this.
I gotta dip more black.
Damn, I don't know how people do this all the time though.
Get tattooed or?
Yeah, get tattooed.
Yes. I'm a tattoo artist.
What's that?
Like just ink.
Ink.
Yeah. I don't
You
really.
drop some.
I always do.
Drop some. So how much does like ink cost?
How much is that bottle? I believe that's like 28, maybe something like that. That
You
sounds
just dropping 17 cents worth of
I
ink
know,
on the
right?
floor.
I
on the
always,
thing.
you know, I think about that too.
Can you pass me my phone?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna listen to those 5 voice notes and see if it's anything of substance. I won't lie to you, that hurt like a bitch.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. I never know if I should tell people like it's gonna hurt.
I literally didn't say nothing because it was on camera.
Yeah, the
But that was like, yo, that hurt worse than like anything that's happened so far. But it looks cool though. Well, it's like 7 of different like little needles on there now. Yeah. So I was like,
27.
27 needles.
now I don't feel it anymore.
No, I'm
But
sorry,
that first
17.
one,
17.
once you started going really fast, I was like, oh yeah, it's numb now.
Yeah, when I go fast, it's not as bad. But because like the first, I had kind of have to like dig into it. Apologies.
I kind of like the purple too.
Oh, like the stencil?
Yeah.
Some people like the purple. Like after looking at it for a long time, I think people start to like it. You know, he has like La Llorona experiences. He's Mexican.
No way.
I do, yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Tell me. I'm like the biggest like.
So when I was 9 years old, so just to give you some context, I've been going to Mexico since I was 8, all the way up to I was 16. Like the last day of school happened, and then that same day, go to the airport, go get on a plane, go to Mexico. Since I was 8 years old. When I was 9, I was living in Mexico City with my grandma, on my dad's side, and then it was just nighttime, and then all of a sudden I hear like, you know, the wailing that everybody talks about, and then you're just like, oh, whatever. And so I was curious, because I was 9 years old, so I get up and I go over to a window, hence I have to leave the room I was in, go into like a little common room and then look out the window. And right where the house is on a corner where there's like a basketball court, like a soccer field, and then just like random like open space. So I go in there and there's lights in this field because they're trying to deter crime. If there's light, they don't think crime is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so there's this like figure, there's like a silhouette of a woman out over there, and it's in all white. And from where I'm looking at it, I can't really tell where it's facing.
Yeah.
Until it turns around and then you can see like a face.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, so it feels like she made direct eye contact with me from how far away she was.
Uh-huh.
And then so I just like
So
closed.
it was like, so she was like turned around.
Yeah, she was turned
and then
around.
She turned around.
Yeah. And the scariest part is like I forgot to say this, but I was getting curious and I was gonna yell at the lady, and then so I unhooked the window lock.
Yeah.
And then that's when she turned around. So I feel like she heard me like
Ew.
unlock the window, and then she turned around, and then I just locked it again and I went back into my room. But
Oh my god.
so yeah, I did what every child does, is like covered myself with my blankets and I went to sleep.
What part of Mexico are you?
So at the time, my father's family lives in just Mexico City.
Okay.
So I don't know how to describe it, but there's a highway right next to it, and so if you get on that highway, maybe like an hour or an hour and 15, you'll be in Puebla. But
Okay.
so they're kind of close. And my other grandma lives in Oaxaca, and that's where the second story happens. I think it was like 15, and I was laying in my room, and it's like windy.
That
like,
one's scary.
And you know the sound of wind.
Is he down here?
Children, they're so funny.
So yesterday, so he can like kind of unwind. I gotta take him to the park, or well, not I have to, but like I'm gonna take him to the park, and I don't exactly want to tell him that we're gonna go out for ice cream afterwards, because
He's gonna be bugging you the whole time.
Yeah.
Just go there.
Right. So I'm telling him, I'm like, hey, like after the park, we might get like a something for you to eat. And he's like, no, I don't want anything to eat. And I'm like, it's something sweet. And he's like, but my dentist said I can't eat things that are sweet. And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna have to tell this kid. And I'm like, not even for ice cream? He's like, no, ice cream's okay.
That's
and I'm
so
like, oh my
funny.
god.
Say no. I think he said ice cream was the only thing that's sweet I can eat.
Yeah, the only thing. Yeah, exactly. It's funny you say that, actually.
Damn, so 17 needles, huh?
17 needles right now, yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. You're sitting really well, though, so I do appreciate that. Like, I would not guess that it's hurting. I can imagine that it is.
Yeah, it is. It's hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah, because of the spot. I don't even have this spot tattooed, and it's your first one. Shout out to you.
I didn't know this was a bad spot, so I started watching YouTube videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were like second guessing. You're like, actually.
Not really. I was
no?
like, let's see what happens. So I feel like, because I played sports growing up, I played a lot of football, so I feel like,
Oh.
I have like a high pain tolerance.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just numb to the pain. Maybe I understand why people get tattoos as therapy sometimes.
Yeah. Some people do like it. I'm like, that's not me.
I mean, I don't like it. It is causing me pain.
It is, yeah,
You know?
Sometimes you do have to
Endure the pain.
see if you still feel something and get a tattoo. Be like, I forgot how this felt. Let me
So if
see.
you do a whole like leg sleeve, I kind of want you to put like a little Easter egg in it, like that you tattooed it.
Oh
like,
my God,
I think that would be an interesting
yeah.
idea.
No, I love that. That'd be cool. Gotta figure out what the Easter egg is.
I think that would be cool.
Where did Idle Talk come from? Like, where did the name come?
I don't know where it came from, but I know this is the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
It was I think my first co-host put it this way. He was like, you know when you're sitting in the car and it's on, but you're not going anywhere, and you're just talking with somebody and you gotta just like you either just sitting in there and talking or you're driving and talking, but the choice is always there. You could just stop
Yeah.
or you could just go.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, that's what kind of want idle talk to be like, just like the ability to have any kind of conversation like
Yeah.
on the podcast. And so that's why when I prep people for the podcast, I'd be like, hey, what don't you want to talk about? But I didn't for you because I feel like you were
Yeah.
going to be open for whatever.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I know there's like some people who like wouldn't want to talk about certain things, so I just
Yeah.
asked just to double check. But,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm open. I'm open about everything.
There's spooky stories.
Okay, so again, I'm in my bed.
Yeah. The window is open.
No, the window's closed.
Oh, the window's closed.
But it's like this close to me though.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like a big window, and there's a really thick like curtain in front of it, and I just hear this like tapping on the glass, and because it's really windy,
This
and I'm
one's so
like,
scary, yeah.
I'm like, oh, this fucking tree is so annoying,
Yeah.
and so I wake up, and then I go downstairs. I'm talking to my grandma. I'm like, hey, can we do something about this tree that's outside? And so we go outside, and there's no tree. There's no tree, and so I go back up to my room, and then I go and I open the window. It's like a small ledge, like a very small ledge.
Yeah.
Like in order to stand on that ledge,
Yeah.
half of your body has to be inside the room, and the other half has to be like on the ledge, so you can kind of see like what's
Okay.
on the window.
Yeah.
And so I go, and it's like a really long scratch mark, like it's like thin at the top, and it gets like really deep, like towards the middle, and then it kind of
Yeah.
fades out. But what I was telling her, I was like, it wasn't a tree. It was like somebody. Looks like something was scratching on the window the whole night, like trying to like get
Yeah.
in for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And so there was no tree outside, nothing even remotely close to my window. It didn't resemble like any kind of animal scratching because like it was like very intentional. Like it's still in the straight line. It wasn't
Yeah.
like all over the place. It was just like one like scratch mark like down the middle, and it was like positioned in a way to like my head was like equal, like parallel to it. Like that's where I was sleeping, and so it just that was a like little like crazy moment because I was like, damn, this tree is so annoying. I got up and I went to like move the curtain
Yeah.
to see if I could snap off the thing, but that I got up and then I just like I'm just gonna cover myself. It's like I don't feel like
Did you
opening
like
it.
tell your family members?
I did,
And
yeah.
what do they say? Like,
And then
what are their like conclusions or?
well, whenever I do go to Mexico, like I'll visit my grandma, and it'll just be me and my grandma, like by ourselves the whole time, like, and like she lives in a like small town, so where like when it's nighttime,
Yeah.
the only lights you see are the lights from the houses.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
if I'm walking to one house, like it'll be pitch black in there,
Yeah.
or like they have a coyote problem. So if you're going outside and it's pitch black, and then all of a sudden you see coyotes, like their eyes will glow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
that
yeah.
dark outside.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
you can see the stars and everything. Like it's so clear over there. But she was like, she's like, I don't know what to. She's like, that's why I have a bar on my window. Like it's like on the inside of it just in case.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that, like they feel like it's like very common, especially in like those like secluded parts
So
of Mexico.
small
Yeah.
towns, yeah. Because my mom's from also a very small town
Yeah, I told them.
in Mexico, and you know she would tell me stories of when she was a child too. Like they'll go to the ranch and like they'll have to stay there overnight, and just like weird sounds and noises and screaming and like people like you're sleeping and they're calling your name and like all of a sudden you're waking up and you're walking towards it, and then like she told me this one story where like she was sleeping with her brother, and I don't know.
That sounded crazy.
One, I know it did.
Be a professional, please.
Sleeping in the same bed.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that was so. I think it's still a little common. Like, I mean,
In
back
Mexico, I
the
feel like, yeah.
especially like if you don't have the means to like, you know,
Have your own room or have your own bed or
room,
something
have your
like
own bed.
that,
You always
yeah.
have to share. So that was one thing that they were doing, and she says that she just heard they had to use the bathroom or something, and she just heard someone calling. So they just went to go look at it, and just like a force just like pushed them or something where like they just went running back. But things like that are very common in Mexico, I feel like. I think it's just because it has like a lot of history too, you know.
For my nephew.
That's so funny.
My sister.
It looks like he wanted an Oreo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It looked like he thought about opening it. Like he like paused, like and like
He
looked at
opened
it.
it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm like, it's auntie said no sweet.
Only ice cream. Remember he said that.
You said that. You said that.
So is shading hard? It looks hard. It looks like, how are you gonna get all that detail on my leg? But I feel like you're doing it, you know?
Right here.
Yeah, like all like just like.
I say it's harder than what I'm used to because I'm just used to doing stipple shading, which is what I showed you earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes it is.
You're
it
really
can
like
be.
pushing the boundary here because it's really look like it's translating from the iPad to the
Oh, thank you
to
so
my
much.
skin.
Yeah. That's always the goal, you know.
Oh, I also bought Second Skin. 'Cause
Oh,
my
okay.
friend recommended me to buy that.
Yeah, I have some
I
here.
have it with me too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just in case.
The thing is, I can.
I was gonna ask you for a tutorial.
Yeah, for sure. So the only thing is, I wouldn't wear it when you go to the gym. That's like the only thing, cause
Well, the YouTube video said you can't go to the gym for like 2 weeks, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask.
Yeah,
But it
that's
feels like the guy was not lying to me.
that's tough, cause you technically. So if you have the second skin, like I wouldn't, go to the gym. I probably would recommend against it because basically how it works is, that stays on your body for, how long is it? It depends. I normally tell my clients like 4 days. And it's very good at it heals your own body and whatnot. But it doesn't keep sweat out. So all of that blood, ink, that's all
Boiling in there.
Right. And so you don't want that to kind of, boil in there. So I just tell people like, hey, if you're like a very active person, like I would not use it. I would just go for like the more traditional way, but it does make healing a lot easier because you don't have to worry about,
Yeah. I mean,
how much ointment you use.
I'm just gonna just do it. I just will not go to the gym, I guess. Cause I wanted to heal, I wanted to be
Yeah.
nice, cause the guy was on the YouTube video again. We keep referencing different videos I've watched, but that's the most important part of it. Is like the healing part of it.
The healing is the most important part.
Just as important as it is to talking to your artist and getting to know them, or like
Right.
trying to work out what the vision looks like. He said the healing part is also pretty important.
Yeah. So I just tell people to take it easy when it comes to like them going to the gym. If you want to like sleep tonight with like a pillow, like elevated it, elevate it, just so it doesn't kind of swell up too much,
Oh, I have a whole body pillow. I like sleep like a pregnant woman.
yeah.
So I throw one of my legs over and then I just go to sleep.
That's good.
So then nothing
So
will
do
change
that.
for me.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I would say if because the gym is very important to some people, and I absolutely understand that. So 2 weeks is kind of insane. I would say 3 to 5 days. You know what I mean? Like if you wanna go to the gym, you can just don't. Just take it easy, like with like your leg stuff. If you want to work out arms or backs or and anything besides like your leg, like anything too heavy.
Yeah, so I probably won't do legs. I don't really
Skip
do
leg
legs.
day. Okay.
I used to do it like once a week, but like I think leading up to the tattoo, I was like squatting like 3 days a week. Like I was doing 2
because
barbell days, and then I was
yeah.
doing the hack squat because it would just open all the time. So I would just go in there, and then so I was like, yeah. Well, I was like, now that I have this tattoo, it's gonna look even better.
Yeah.
So
In anticipation, yeah.
so because I usually just like a bench every day,
Gotcha.
just because I want to get a big bench before I die, pretty much. But I want to see how far I could take it. You know.
What is it, PR?
Yeah. Right now it's like 280.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
That's crazy. That's more, you can pick me up, basically.
You could.
Like a feather, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But I kind of want to get to 315. Yeah, I'll tell you a funny
315.
Instagram story because this guy, I commented on this woman's post, how she was like struggling.
IG?
Yeah, struggling to like bench like a plate, which is just like
Okay.
135.
Okay.
And she's light as fuck too, like you. She's like probably like 120.
Okay.
I'm like that you're benching like a lot more than what you weigh. And so I was like, I left like a nice comment like, hey, like don't even trip, like it's like fitness is a lifelong journey. You're not gonna hit your numbers like almost immediately. Like you're super blessed if you're even capable of that.
Yeah.
But I was like, for me, it took me 10 years to even hit 225. like on
Okay.
my own. Like
Okay.
I was consistently working at it in high school and in college, trying to hit that because I was playing college football. Like I was the only one that couldn't bench 225 at all, but I was playing these games, like I was doing everything, and so like since like I was 14, like I wanted to do that.
Okay.
And so I got to college, started playing college football. I was like 21, almost 22 when I graduated, and then I still couldn't hit it. And then I took a break. Like I just went to the gym, just did regular things, like got my steps in, walked my dog a lot more,
Yeah.
like doing all that. And then when I started getting into the gym again with my friend in Baltimore, because he said I really wanted to get a gym membership, I was like, yeah, let's go. I'll jump in the gym with you. Like jumping back into things I used to do has always been easier than starting something brand new. Like,
True, yeah.
Like I could take a break from the gym for a few years and then just go back, and then like nothing happened.
Right.
And so we started benching.
Especially for you, like
Yeah.
it being so active, even when it comes to like football and stuff like that, you were always like an active person.
Yeah. So I told them like I want to bench 225 by like August. I feel like because it was like February, and then I got it in March, and I was like I don't know where to go from here. Like I
Oh, no
did
way.
what I wanted to do, and then so I just kept adding weight, and so I left that comment to kind of like motivate that person.
Yeah.
And then somebody like responded to me, and then that one really stuck out. He was like, she was like, how about you just train harder? And then that's why I explained it to him, to that guy, and now we're friends.
No
Yeah.
way.
So I was like, yo, I'm like, I could bench like 225 for reps now. I'm like, can you bench 315? He's like, no. I'm like, so all right, whoever gets 315 first is the better athlete. And so now I'm racing against the clock to try to
Oh,
bench
shit,
315
no
faster than he
way.
is. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, how much are you at right now?
280.
280. Oh
And
my god.
he's at
okay.
275 right now. He said I was telling him, we were just having a casual conversation. He's like, yo, I told him, I know I'm going to bench 215 before you, but in order for you to try to catch up to me, try to do pause reps, like, during your days.
Okay.
And then he was like, oh, yo, I got a new PR because I started doing the pause reps. And then he's like,
Oh,
I'm
no
gonna
way.
try 315 in November. And I said, oh, that's great because I'm gonna get that shit in October.
So were you just like,
No, I was like completely lying, but now I'm gonna
Okay,
try
okay.
though. I'm gonna try to get it in October, but
that's crazy, that's so cool.
And
I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
was like, my elbow's a little sore. So I told him, like, you're lucky my elbow is so sore right now. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I wasn't doing anything too crazy. But I'm like, you lucky I cannot progress because my elbow is sore. But I was just talking all that shit to that guy.
That's crazy. It's nice that like, so he was kind of like a hater.
He was like a dick, yeah. Like,
Yo, people who like hate on comments are so weird to
It
me.
is so
like,
weird.
No, I mean, it's kind of crazy to me. It's like you don't even like just even opening up, like getting to that step, like getting to the doing the comment,
Yeah.
hitting send.
Yeah.
Like that's so wild to me.
no, I'm like, you try to. I think I responded to him in a regular way, and I think he
Yeah.
didn't expect that. And then
Right.
I just started, like, then I started talking a little bit more shit back to him, and then, like, we started following each other and stuff. But,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, I don't, like, in my head, I'm like, what was your point of, like, what were you trying to do? Like, bring
Right.
me down for that? And then now it's, I flipped it, where now we're, like, motivating each other to kind of, like, try to get 315 for the other person.
Yeah, and that's good. And I heard that like the best way to kind of like flip that or whatever is to just respond. Like be nice. Like don't
Yeah,
be
exactly.
like don't be a
Don't
dick.
match it.
Yeah, don't match it exactly.
But, yeah, that was so funny.
That's crazy that you guys are like friends now. Is he from like New
No, he's not. He's just
He's
some
just-
random guy on the internet that I've
way.
met, but...
That's crazy.
But now I talk shit to him. Now that I know there's no malice intent behind it, now
Yeah.
like you're not gonna get it
Right.
before me, obviously.
Where is so how was it like in Baltimore? Because I don't know if you ever watched the show The Wire or
Oh, yeah.
even do you, I'm sure you
I'm
know
aware
about
of the
it.
show.
You're aware of the show because you're from
They're sick and tired of Baltimore. They're sick and tired of hearing about that show.
Yeah? Oh my God,
But
so
it's so
sorry.
funny.
It's such a good show though. And
Like,
what happened? Go ahead.
They're always you go to somewhere that's been on the show, and then they're like, it's not like the show. So,
Okay.
they're like sick and tired of it. They're like, yo, stop
It's not like
talking
the show.
about The Wire here. This is not
It's
how it's
not
like.
like-
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, so there's this part in the show where it's so bad, right? That basically they come up with a place, like there's like a small place in the city, like a neighborhood, and they just make that basically, I forgot what they call it, but basically you can sell crack, you can, you could do whatever. in this part of the city, and it's like fine, it's legal, like the cops won't care. And so I talked to somebody who also watched the show, and they went, you know, like a long time ago. He's a lot older, and they're like, yeah, it's just like the show, like zombies walking around everywhere. And I'm like, no way. And he's like telling me, but you're actually from Baltimore, so you can, you know.
So I lived there for like 2 years and some change.
Okay.
And there was a squatter in the garage of the house we lived in, and he like was the reason he was there is because he was like the super, the guy who
Okay,
owned the
yeah,
house
yeah,
before
yeah.
then he didn't stay there. He just made sure the garden was kept up.
Okay.
And so the original guy never knew that he was living in his garage.
No way.
Yeah, and he owned the house for like 16 years.
And
or
he
something.
never knew.
He never knew, and
So he was living there the whole time.
the whole time in his garage.
No
And so the
fucking
crazy
way.
part is that like, if my friend's cousin didn't buy that house like at that time, like just like a few years later, he would have had like full like ownership of the house.
Okay.
Like because of the squatter laws that are like active in Baltimore. Like, I think it's like 20 years. If you've been in a place 20 years, you have legal claim to it.
No
because the guy never
way.
came back to live in it. He only stayed time to time. Like he didn't really like actively live in that. And so I'm like, yo, we got to get him out before he decides to be like, yo, I got a legal claim over this place that I've been taking care of it for 20 years.
That's crazy, yeah.
So he was I don't know if he was a Marine veteran or an Army veteran, but he had like this 50 caliber bullet on his chest. Like he just wore it as a chain. And he was like, yeah, it reminds me of like my active duty and things like that. And then so my friend's cousin comes up to Baltimore from Florida.
Okay.
And she's looking at the house. She's like trying to make like different changes, and then we're trying to get this guy out. And then she's like, hey, I think if we got you like a little office somewhere, or like a storage space, like you can work out of that. That way, like we can start cleaning up the garage a little bit and start like improving it. And then he was like crying. He was like, oh no, please. He's like, like I live here, like da 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 da. And we got him out. But that was like our first encounter in Baltimore. Was like
That's
this guy who was like
crazy.
living in this garage.
That's insane.
Like, that is insane. All his stuff was there. All of it.
Was it, how big was the garage?
It only fit one car. It was a one-car garage.
Okay.
But, like, it wasn't even that tall either. So, like, my car barely fit in the garage. But, we made it through anyway.
Did you ever, like, see the inside, like how it looked?
Oh, it
How he
looked...
was living?
It looked like, you know, like those shows where, like, hoarders?
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was such a mess. It was... And there was, like, a path in all the mess where, like, you could just walk through, and then, like, there's a chair and, like, access to the fridge that he had. So it was like a...
Okay.
It looked like a maze. Like, the parts you could walk through, like, you get in through the door, walk to the chair, walk out to the other door. Like, it was that simple. But I was like, damn, you could have lost his house if you didn't, like, if we didn't kick him out soon enough.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then we would see him in the neighborhood, and I'd be like, yo, that's that guy. That's that guy.
Was he homeless after?
No, I don't know what happened to him, to be honest with you. I don't know what happened to him.
That's the guy.
But I'm like, yo, that's the guy. I don't want to say his name.
No,
But, like,
that's fine.
I was like, yo, that's that guy. And it's so crazy. And, like, so, like, my friend's cousin just loves talking to neighbors, she's like a very people person.
Okay.
And she's like asking about him, and then she talked to 5 neighbors about him, and she got 4 different stories.
No way.
4 different stories about him.
What?
Yeah. So I was like...
Like, were they all good stories, or it was like a mix, or?
No, it was just like all different stories of like his background, like what he told the neighbors, because he was like walking around and like trying to promote that like he can like clean up garbage or like water plants for people, things like that, like trying to make himself useful and stuff.
Right.
But she talked to all the neighbors, and she got like 4 different stories
That's crazy.
out of them, like where he came from, what he did, blah 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 blah. And so I was like, damn, that's fucking insane.
He was well known in this neighborhood.
Yeah. So there are parts where I do agree about the zombies though, because I used to DoorDash before I even got my first job there, just to see what it was like. And there were some neighborhoods that were really fucking sketchy. Like,
Yeah.
apparently the neighborhood we lived in used to be the hood.
Okay.
And then it got gentrified.
Oh.
And so like these homes like got like bought up and sold off, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Like walking around the neighborhood, it literally looks like a Hallmark movie. Like
Okay.
in the wintertime, it's so beautiful.
No
Like
way.
like you have like those lights that like string lights all over. Like they connect to each house pretty much.
Okay,
and,
yeah, yeah,
And it looks
yeah.
like a little web or something. But
Right.
like it's so beautiful to just walk out in the winter, like. Because it doesn't really snow over there, and even if it does snow, it looks like
Really?
a fucking Disney snow. Like,
Baltimore. Oh yeah, yeah. It's south from here.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean it does snow, like obviously when there's like a huge snowstorm coming,
Right.
but if there's like a little bit of snow expected, it looks cute. It looks like a movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Like a gingerbread house.
Exactly. And so that's awesome. But apparently we used to live in the hood and we were driving, my friend and I, for the first time, we were gonna go visit the house. It had nothing in there.
Okay.
Besides like a few couches and stuff. He's like, yeah, you wanna come with me to Baltimore so I can look at this house for my cousin? If we get there and in sketch, we'll stay right back in the car, turn around and come back. He's like, I
Okay.
got you on the tolls, I got you on everything. I was like, all right, perfect, sounds good. I was like, how much should I pack? He's like, pack for like a week. And then at this moment, I had just come back from Mexico. So
Okay.
all my clothes are in my suitcase. I just
Oh, okay.
put my suitcase back in my car. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck it. And we ended up staying in Baltimore for a month.
Oh my
He
God,
had
no
only
way.
packed for a week, as he suggested before.
No fucking
And
way.
then his cousin came up. We got rid of the squatter, and then we drove down to Florida to
Okay.
spend the summer in Florida.
Okay.
With her, like visiting her house, like visiting like another guy who like it was her boyfriend at the time. We were like visiting his house, like spending time like with each other for
Yeah.
the summer, and then yeah, that's how we ended up in Florida for a month, and then drove back up to Baltimore, spent another month there. And I had told my mom, "Hey, I'm going away for the weekend."
Stop it.
Yeah,
And you were.
I was gone for like 3
Did
months.
she like?
She's like, "Hey, where are you?" I was
No
like,
fucking way.
I was like, I'm
Funny story.
doing things that I did not think I was gonna do.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that's how I ended up living in Baltimore, and then I went to Mexico
Right
with my
after.
sister. Yeah,
You
for
didn't
the
even have
first
to
time.
unpack your suitcase.
I did
like,
not.
you
I just
were-
like
that
kept-
suitcase.
I just kept putting it in a different car. Just like
Yeah.
there you go, boom. And I went to Mexico for like the rest of the summer.
That's
And then
crazy. Where's somewhere where that you really want to go to? Like,
I want to
what's
go to
your-
Germany
Germany. Okay.
really bad. Yeah.
That's
So I
different.
think that'd be cool.
Why Germany?
I feel like I know like 3 people in Germany, and I feel like
Oh,
that's
okay.
enough to like
To like have
go
the-
over there
Yeah.
and have like a different experience. So.
Right. That's cool. How'd you meet them?
One of them used to go to my high school. Then he went in the
What?
army. He went to the army, and that's
Oh,
where he's
okay.
like based out of now.
Got you, but he's American.
Yeah, he's American.
Okay.
And then there's this one girl who followed me on Instagram because I left a funny comment. Like I leave comments on everything pretty much. And then she followed me and they started chit chatting. Like she was talking to me about the gym, and we just had like a good conversation from there. And so there's another friend that I met, like both like those 2 next friends I just met from like Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
So I think like it's pretty cool.
That is cool. That's crazy.
And
have to follow
I'm not
your
worried
TikTok,
about
too.
them trying to murder me because I hope not. That's always a thought though.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I think.
There was this girl I met
Almost
in
not.
Baltimore the time I was there, like the recent time.
Uh-huh.
And then I texted my friend like, all right, here are the names of people she's mentioned in conversations. Here's where I'm gonna go. Here's where she told me to park. Here's everything. I texted him that. I was like, there's a little notebook right next to my iPad. It has my passwords in case you need to access
No
anything.
way.
Yeah, because I use LastPass for my passwords. I'm like, if you need to access anything to see if anything's like, give that to the police in case I don't come back. Like, I'm like, there's an air tag in my car. I hit it. Da, da, da. And I was telling the girl that, and she was like, why'd you do all that? I was like, I don't know. What if you murder me?
Right.
Like, hello? Are you not doing that with people you meet? I'm like, I feel like this should be like standard procedure.
Have you been like shy ever? Like, it seems like you're not shy.
Shy only when I'm like talking to girls I want to talk to.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm shy, guys.
I'm shy.
I'm shy. Yeah, exactly. That's the vibe I give off. With the little finger emojis. But the worst is when I think when I approach somebody and I don't think I'm going to be interested in it, so I start off like regular, and then though that develops, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, now I have no excuse to be shy. 'Cause we've already established a rapport or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like the shyness helps me out in my favor sometimes. They'll be like, oh, he's shy. I'm like, yeah, I'm shy.
They're gonna know. You're gonna drop this, and they're gonna be like,
They're like, oh, he was lying.
"He's lying." Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, water's fine.
What is that?
It's just green soap. It's like, it's basically, it's just soap.
Oh, that's his water.
This is water, this is
Oh.
green soap. It says soap. But it's just like, water, I mean, water will do, like, it's good to use water, like, when I'm outlining, because it doesn't, the green soap will make the stencil come out quicker. So water is good, but then, like, when you want to really clean, then the green soap. But sometimes I gotta get a new one, because sometimes it gets stuck. I like the hands.
What do you mean?
Like, I like how the hand came out. 'Cause-
For a second, I thought it was the pinky. I thought he had the pinky up. I think. I was like, hey, pinky's up. But
Pinky's
then I
up.
realized it was a thumb.
He's classy when he
Yeah.
kills people.
For the Michael Myers one, we should do like a pinky up. That'd be so
Imagine.
funny. Yeah,
I
but
think-
I like the heart idea. I think that was good.
Yeah, no, like the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you for being down for that. Like, I was just like,
Imagine, no, can you keep it to the same thing I want?
you know, that happens sometimes. It's, you know, it's not my tattoo at the end of the day. I can only suggest.
Yeah, the shit burns. Not in a bad way though. But like in a way like, oh shit,
No, I
Fernando got a tattoo.
get it. Yes. It does not get better. It does not get easier. It's like
Why would you say that to me?
It's like hot ones.
Oh my god, not like it's like Hot Ones. That guy's my hero.
Is he?
Yeah.
Something Evans?
Sean Evans.
Sean Evans.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
I just like the way he like knows things about people. Like he like takes the time.
Yeah, no,
So,
to,
like-
to do the research and, you know. No, me too. He's really good. He does ask some really good questions. I mean, like, I'll watch him. Like, the way he
Where did you find
structures
that? Yeah.
his questions, like,
And he
so
structures them in a
good.
way where like the hotter the wing, the better the question.
Yeah.
So good.
So, like, what do you want? Like, eventually, like, do you want to do something like that where it's like,
You know, you can make up. I'm gonna tell a story.
okay, oh, are we on?
Yeah, I don't stop. I don't pause. I just
gotcha.
cut things out.
Sorry, future you, for hearing this. Like, it's gonna be
That's
like,
all right. Before I got my new co-host with me,
Okay.
I was gonna like change it from a podcast to like a late night show. So like instead of it being on TV, it was actually gonna be like on YouTube. But I wanted to do like a late night thing because one of my professors was like, I left like my introduction, like, because you had to do that on Zoom, like leave a Zoom video, like who you are, what you do, blah blah blah. And so I left one of those videos, and he was like, "Hey, I don't know if anyone's ever told you, but I think you'd be pretty good like late night TV host." And I was like,
you really
I
would.
took it. I ran
Yeah.
with it. I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to, like, maybe I stop doing it like weekly episodes. Maybe just like daily or like something like to post like every night. Like, I was like, maybe I should do that. Maybe that'd be cool. But then my co-host came into the picture, and I was like, yeah, I'll just keep doing the podcast. But the late night host thing has always been like, oh, I think that'd be an interesting thing to do.
Like, that's been like your dream.
Well, that's my new dream.
Oh, okay.
Again, I wanted to be a janitor when I was younger. That's
right, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I think I would be a pretty good late night host. Am I swollen? Is that what that is?
You are. It happens.
Like a lot? Or like average?
No, like average.
Dab.
Thanks. That's the thanks. Oh my god. It's, yeah, you're swollen, but it's like a normal amount. When I first started, again, like the people who I first started with, like shout out to them for real, because I was like ripping.
It's got to
their-
start with somebody,
You know, I was like ripping their skin apart.
It wasn't me though.
It just got. It wasn't me though. Where, like, I'm just like, yo, thank y'all.
Shout out to y'all.
For real, bro.
Jazz Club Christmas party VIP guests. First people
Literally.
who got a tattoo from you. Is that blood?
Where?
Right
Right there, yeah.
Jeez. That's
It's blood and plasma.
What's the hell's plasma? I'm bleeding.
That's a cool photo for the dumps. For the dumpskis.
Damn, how's this gonna look like in like 3 days? I already want it to be like 3 days later, you know? I want to skip a lot of the steps.
See, blood.
Blood, ew. Gross. Gross.
Like a good first tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bold one for sure. They're bolds.
We're gonna do peace, love, and joy. You know. Boo.
Oh shoot, I forgot the side. You're gonna get infinity. Your next one is an infinity symbol.
Where on my wrist?
Yeah, on your wrist. You got a full blown like. You went pretty big.
And you were like, I don't know how much real estate you got. I'm like, I got all the real estate. I have all of it. Go big or go home, you know?
That's what I tell my clients. Just sit, relax, we'll have a good time. Maybe not so much relax, but try at least to relax. And we're definitely making good time. Like, I'm actually kind of surprised with myself. I'm like, oh man.
I could still see some of the purple, and I kind of like that.
I see. That's what the soap would be good for, because I want to take the purple out. But at the end, I'll like just
And I kind of wish that the purple was there forever.
forever.
Yeah, it's giving horror.
It is. It's like the color palette. Mm-hmm. I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday.
My favorite holiday is my birthday.
What'd you do for your birthday this year?
Where was I? Oh, I was working.
What?
Yeah. So for the start of the summer, I did this program where I was the activity manager of this like international program. So kids from like Italy, Brazil,
Okay.
Pakistan, like all these different countries, and they would come to the U.S. and it was like our job to take them around New York City, and like they had that class in the morning and then like excursions in the afternoon. So
Okay.
I did that for the majority of the summer. So I was like in Manhattan on my birthday.
Okay,
Like
got you.
taking these kids around and stuff. This group from Kazakhstan, which is a real country by the way. A lot of people, when I
Kazakhstan.
tell people that, they're like, I thought that was like in the movies or something. I think a famous vampire is from there. I'm not gonna say Dracula's from there because I'm not sure if that's the one, but like apparently like a vampire is from there. Right?
Maybe Nosferatu.
I have no idea, but they were like, they bought me a cake. I'm like, where the fuck you get a cake? Where do you know where to go? This is
That's
America.
crazy.
Yeah, the whole group, because some
that's
adults
nice.
come with them.
Yeah.
So the adults got me a cake, but they got every single kid a cake who it was their birthday, like in their group. So I had a cake for like 3 weeks, like in a row.
Like a
'Cause,
big cake.
like I had a piece of cake
Oh.
every time they had a birthday party.
Oh, I
but
see.
I got my own big cake.
I see.
Like I got my own cake, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, who the fuck told you it was my birthday? That's my first thing, because somebody had to
True.
tell you
Yeah.
that it was my birthday. I'm like, who leaked that information?
Who leaked that information?
Yeah, because the guidelines were so strict. They're like, the kids are obviously going to be younger than you. Like, even to the kids who are like 19, 20 working at the camp, they're like, we don't want you sharing your Instagram with them. We don't want you taking their numbers. Like,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
okay
yeah.
for me because I was a manager, and like, if they needed to contact me, like either them, like in case of emergencies, pretty much.
Right.
So everybody either got a work phone or they got like $50 a month to just pay their own phone bill. So I was like, I don't want to carry 2 phones on me.
Oh, okay.
So my personal number was the only one out there. And so, yeah, so I did that for the summer. And then I went to Baltimore for the rest of the summer.
Got you. That's kind of cool though. I like I like when people come to the country, I guess, or different, like New York, and it's like their first time, and like experiencing it through them is kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I've been going to the city ever since I was younger, so like I always loved the city, but like I can never, I don't know what it's like to live so far away and like being like my dream to go to New York City, because again, like I have it right there, which
Yeah.
I'm so like grateful for. But it's always cool. Like I would love to bring like my cousins from Mexico and have them come to the city for like the first time, and I want them to come so bad.
These kids were literally crying getting on the bus to go back to the airport.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like there was a survey put out by the company that I didn't know that nobody on campus knew, because we were doing it at St. John's in Queens.
Okay, yeah.
And so there was a survey put out by the school staff who was in charge of just the curriculum. Like,
Okay.
which what do you like best about the program? And one of the questions was like, which of the team members do you like best?
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of a crazy question
That
to
is
put
a
up
crazy,
there,
but
right?
90% of the votes, and the
No
other
way.
8% was another girl who was actually very, very like. I think everybody else was kind of wound up and stuck up, but then me, like, and a few of the counselors and the other
Yeah.
people were like better at it than the like my manager was like never really talked to the kids in the dining hall. Like,
Okay.
we had a liaison from the parent company here with us. He didn't really communicate
Talk
with the
much.
kids
Yeah.
that much, but with the adults, he was like on top of them, like make sure they were good and stuff.
Okay.
And then my assistant manager didn't really talk to the kids unless it was like she had to, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if she had to, like, tell them where to go, what to do, things like that. But I would just have conversations with the kids. And, like, I would use my hands to talk with them, too, so they can understand and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
so
yeah,
I felt
yeah.
like Beyonce or Taylor Swift. Every time I walked in a place, they'd be like, Fernando.
Really?
Yeah, they would chant my name. Like, we had a graduation day because they got a certificate. And I walked into the auditorium late as fuck. And then they stopped the ceremony. It just chanted my name as I got to my
Stop
seat.
it.
Yeah. And I told the academic person, I was like, hey, when I walk in there, they're gonna go crazy. Watch. And then so I walk in there, and they went beyond crazy. They went insane. And she was like, "How much did you pay the kids to do that?" I'm like, "They just fuck with me. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what else to tell you." Like,
They were jelly.
they were jelly, but they were also very annoyed because we literally like shut the place down. Like, they had to restart the ceremony to whoever they like the last 5 names just in case they didn't hear them. But I'm like, this is how you get 90% of the votes.
Dang, you had like a slew of jobs, I feel.
Yeah, it's always random.
It does sound like pretty
It's
random.
always random.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I took that job is because in Baltimore I was a youth soccer coach, so
Okay.
I was a assistant coach and coordinator. That was my official title. But I would coach classes too because it was basically like I worked there full time, so I did office stuff like less than half the time, and then majority
Okay.
of the time I was like traveling to places to coach in case like, let's say like I was in Baltimore City and a Washington D.C. coach couldn't coach,
Okay.
and they're like, "Hey, Fernando, where are you right now?" Da da. If I was off, they'll call me in, and then because they gave me a company car, so they thought, oh, because he has a company car, he doesn't have to use his own car. He could just go wherever we want him to go. And so I did that, and I was like, wow, I like hanging out with the kids.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I know I can work with kids younger. I was like, let me see if I can work with like older kids too. And then I was like, oh wow, I could. Like, everything leads into each other, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've watched a scary movie before I watched Scream.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And I was like, oh, I watched Scream and I was like, oh, this is
The
from
What's
Scary
Up,
Movie.
the What's Up mask.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. I was supposed to do a Scream early in my career, and I kind of wish I would have done it for the purposes of to see like the growth.
So what happened? What?
He ended up not doing it. I'll tell you that he was not great with like pain tolerance. I hope he does not listen to this podcast, but he was not great with pain tolerance.
Name drop his name. Go. Don't actually do it.
I'm not gonna do it, but I couldn't even do it if I wanted to because I forgot his name. It's horrible.
No, there was one line you did. It was a really long line, and that fucked my day up. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm sorry. I hope you have a much better day.
Dude, I was like, Jesus. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh, it was the one you made me record too. I was like, God damn. When is this line ending? I was like, yo, that sucked.
Oh yeah, because it was a long line. And I went back. I went back in.
Yeah, you did. You went down and then you went back up,
Back
and I was
up,
like,
and you were
and
like,
then you went down again, I think. But it wasn't as long as the first time you went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I have some shop stories for sure.
Well, yeah, so start telling some of them. I might break this up into like 3 parts though. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. So we can get into it.
This tattoo artist. So I worked there as a receptionist first,
Yeah.
right? You know.
As I know, yeah.
And
I pay attention to the stories.
I think the stories when I was a receptionist were crazier than when I became a tattoo artist, because the people who were working there at the time were seasons and I guess knew the ropes or whatever. I'm not gonna name drop, obviously. I'm like,
And if you do by accident, I'll bleep it out.
no, I won't. But so we had this one artist, cool dude. Would like to chat to him, but he was a bit like, he would go out on these like mysterious runs, I guess. Like he would just like leave, for a long time out of the day. And they would always be kind of mysterious. We kind of knew what he was like doing during that time, but whatever. Like we just, what do I care, right? So one time, there was this like one client who would always come. She would come a lot and come to him, and I could tell when he would be seeing the clients like personally, like when it was like
After
a different
hours.
relationship. Yeah, I could tell when it was a different kind of relationship because they would refer to him by his first name instead of his tattoo name. And whatever, she was cool. I always would set her up with paperwork, and she would go to like the back. So this was like a regular day. I was not doing my job. Like I was not in the front. I was like, in the back somewhere, like just like talking with my friend. All of a sudden we hear like commotion, like we hear yelling coming from like his room. I'm like, what the fuck? And so we go up to the front. The guy, so she's in the booth with him. There's another guy, the guy who's tattooing, and then another guy who turns out is her husband. And he's like, so this is what you're doing when you're not home. You're coming here. This is what you're doing. We have 2 kids. Blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh my god, like it's like he's ready to fight, the tattoo artist. And I'm like, oh my god. Like he went inside, started locking the door, and she's like, get out, like what are you doing? Like they weren't doing anything in there, but he was just ready to fight him, like in that booth. And he is really good. I feel like his skill is like, he's a good talker. Like he talks to a lot of people and whatnot. And so they were gonna fight, and the owner, he came up and he was like, can you guys like this, not do this right here, like take it outside. And the guy was like, do you know how many guys has he been fucking in your business, and this is not your business, and blah blah blah. And so the owner was like, this quite literally is my business, like you're in my business right now. And so whatever, they take it outside, and they end up like not fighting, and he just like kind of talks it out or whatever. But it turns out that guy is the fucking health inspector, but not for the town that that the shop is at.
Yeah.
Like the town right next over. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like out of everybody you can like be messing with, you're messing with, supposedly, everything I said is supposedly. You're messing
Even the 2
with
kids.
even the 2 kids, supposedly. Is the supposed health inspector. Like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But that was like one story. And then like there's been other stories where I wasn't working there, but like the owner would tell me. So there's this one time, there's this drunk driver. So there's no parking at the shop that I used to work at. So it's only street parking, and this drunk driver, he hits all of the cars, like boom, 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 boom. He hits on the street, all of the cars on the street. He goes inside the tattoo shop to hide from the police because he's like on the run. He goes inside.
They start asking like, hey, I want to get this tattoo real quick. Like, what do you think?
No, he goes
just
inside,
runs
inside and grabs one of the owner's cousin, who was just like hanging out there at the time. He grabs the owner's cousin and keeps him as hostage. So the police run in there, and then they're like, let him go. And they're like, no, like keeps him as hostage. So the police are there, and like they can't do anything because like he, like his cousin, like he's as a hostage. And the owner's like, shoot him.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah. And the owner's like, shoot him. So he goes in the bathroom and locks himself inside the bathroom. Throws like the hostage, out, and locks himself in the bathroom. And then they're trying to get him out. So the fire department comes, and they like axe the wall, I guess, to try to get him out of there. And then they make a little hole in the wall, and then they throw like a those like the air shit. I don't
like
forget
tear gas or something like that.
Yeah, like they throw like like tear gas is a good way. They throw like tear gas in there, and he comes out, and he comes out like a bear, and he's like, like And so he's just going crazy. The police try to get him. He's like so big and so strong. He is able to take on 5 police men like on his own. Like he's just like trying to get out the situation, but he was just like so big. And so I think they did start shooting at him, and there's like blood everywhere in the shop. And so like they ended up getting him, but it took like 5 people to like kind of restrain him and everything like that. But the shop was closed for like 2 days because they were trying to like clean up all the blood from that
The shootout, I
yeah,
guess.
the shootout in the shop. And then so also at that tattoo shop, so right above is like it's one of those, you know how like there's a businesses and on top there's like apartments.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those. So above, one time like the FBI shows up. This was obviously before my time because you know I was young at the time, but the FBI shows up and they're like, hey, can we go upstairs? And they're like, yeah, sure. Like we have to like inspect, you know, like the house or whatever, the apartment, because guess who was living there?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, no, the people who coordinated 9/11. Yes.
What?
Yes.
No.
So they were like, yeah. So they were like, hey, we need to go up there and you know we need to inspect or whatever. So yeah, and they.
Shut the
I swear to
fuck
God. So they
up
go
right now.
upstairs and there's only a mattress on the floor. No like.
No, like chairs.
No chairs, no thing for the mattress to be on, just a mattress, like a whole bunch of like the Jesus sandals, you know, like a whole bunch of those, and the fucking blueprints. The fucking plans. Crazy.
That is insane, actually. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. Now I wish we recorded this.
Did we not?
No, I mean like on camera so I can make a little TikTok clip.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane. Not the people who did 9/11.
That would have been a good like TikTok clip,
That would've been a
actually.
clip.
We got to reenact it.
Yeah, when we sit down for an episode.
I have stories and, well, had, now I
You
Got
can
it.
retell them. You can retell them.
have to retell them.
That's so crazy though. Not the 9/11 guys.
The 9/11 guys.
Wow, that's insane.
Yep.